Welcome back. The police in Zambia say at least 17 people have died in a bus accident east of the capital, Lusaka. A further 48, including the bus driver, have been taken to hospital after sustaining injuries. The accident happened last night when the bus turned over while trying to go round a corner. Police spokesperson Esther Katongo has asked relatives to travel to Luangwa in eastern Zambia to identify the bodies. Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe's only daughter, Bona Mugabe Chikore, has been appointed to the country's censorship board in what critics say is a move to crack down on negative media reports about the family. Police spokesperson Charity Charamba will also serve on the 11-member board appointed by Home Affairs Minister Ignatius Chombo, along with representatives of church groups, the legal and accounting professions, and traditional leaders. Bona Mugabe Chikore is the only daughter of President Mugabe and Grace Mugabe. She studied in Singapore and has a master's in management, specializing in banking and finance. The state-owned Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation says the board will control and regulate the media and film industry and focus on the rampant abuse of social media, while also taking into consideration that general elections are set for next year. In northeastern Africa, humanitarian agencies are boosting efforts to provide clean drinking water to civilians escaping fighting in South Sudan's Upper Nile region as the threat of a cholera outbreak looms. The UN Children's Agency UNICEF says conflict has left 5 million people in the country with no access to safe water, basic sanitation and hygiene.
Millions of South Sudanese escaping fighting do not have access to safe water. UN agencies say water shortages, inadequate sanitation and poor hygiene pose additional risks to malnourished children in South Sudan and could lead to fetal diarrheal diseases. The UN Children's Agency UNICEF says the conflict has left 5 million people in the country with no access to safe water, basic sanitation and hygiene. In Aburok, in the northern Upper Nile region, which borders Sudan, tens of thousands of civilians escaping violent clashes between government and opposition forces are struggling to find safe water. Humanitarian organizations were forced to withdraw from the area last month when fresh fighting erupted. The deployment of peacekeepers by the United Nations mission in South Sudan has seen agencies intensify efforts to provide clean drinking water as the threat of a cholera outbreak looms.
Here we use water from the stream, and whenever we use this water for bathing, we get rashes. Right now I have skin rash, but what can we do? Nobody is able to stay here. We will go to Sudan because in Sudan, the humanitarian assistance is better.
About 17 aid agencies are providing assistance, including food, water, sanitation and medical care, as well as shelter in Aburok. While on a visit to the city, UN Humanitarian Coordinator for South Sudan, Eugene Owusu, says a more lasting solution between warring parties in the conflict must be found.
This needless conflict is creating untold human suffering, and all what we are doing as humanitarians and even as UNMISS is really dealing with the consequences of a problem. The fundamental problem is conflict. We need to fix the politics. We need to stop this needless fighting. The guns have to stay silent to give South Sudanese the opportunity to live in peace, to live in prosperity, and also to live a life of God.
Civil war erupted in South Sudan in late 2013. The fighting has forced more than 3 million people to flee their homes and plunged parts of the country into farming, creating Africa's biggest refugee crisis since the Rwandan genocide in 1994.
Still in North Africa, an Egyptian adventurer has become the first one-legged man to swim from Egypt to Jordan. Last month, Omar Hegazi crossed a 20-kilometer stretch of the Red Sea, Gulf of Aqaba, in under 9 hours.
26-year-old banker Omar Hegazi lost his leg in a motorbike accident 2 years ago, which he says left him with an identity crisis. Determined to overcome the setback, Hegazi regained his strength through training and was soon practicing extreme sports he had enjoyed before his accident, including rock climbing and diving. Before the accident, I was an adventurer. I used to rock climb, dive, and do things that are a bit dangerous. After the accident, I was skeptical about being able to do those things. I started doing small things like training to rock climb. I trained hard until I could climb the mountain with one leg. It grew from there because I realized I could accomplish things just like I used to. And on the contrary, it's even more enjoyable, and the feeling is better because it's much harder than before. Hegazi hopes that his achievement will inspire others to pursue their dreams, no matter what setbacks they may have to suffer. You choose to be successful or to fail. You choose whether to stay at the bottom or rise at the time of crisis. It is 100% your choice. Some factors affect your decision, but then in the end, it is 100% your choice. Hegazi raised funds for the swim through local sponsors. Audiences were able to track his progress across the coral-rich Gulf through a Twitter hashtag he created to raise awareness about people enduring mental and physical disabilities.
Finally, on the program, Nigeria's highest ruling body, the Federal Executive Council, today stood still for Channels Television State House correspondent, the late Chukwuma Onyekwusi. Before the commencement of the business of the day, the acting president called for a minute silence for the broadcaster who died in a private hospital in Abuja yesterday. Earlier in his tribute, Professor Shibaju said he received the news of the death with great sadness, extending condolences to Chukwuma's family, Channels Television, and the State House Press Corps.
Honorable Ministers and members of the Federal Executive Council, yesterday we got the very sad news of the passing on of one of the members of the State House family, Mr. Chukwuma Onyekwusi of the Channels Television, who passed away after a brief illness yesterday. I want us to just, in recognition of the fact that we remember a very good, very articulate, and also very patriotic and committed journalist. I want us just in honor of this fine gentleman to rise for a moment of silence. We pray that from the Honorable Minister for Education.
Chukwuma will surely be missed by all. That's Network Africa. Thank you for watching. I'm Joker Rogers.